top of the morning, 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 top of the morning. Hold on, let's get this shit, let's get this shit, let's get this shit, let's
like what these niggas on like? Shit changed the fucking rapping. Too bad bitches here, cardiac glasses.
What is up, Voodoo Tribe? It is your girl Nadja here, aka the Voodoo Child, and I am back with another book review, but like I am like lost for words right now. Like this has been the most weirdest, most concerning, most confusing. We're about to get into this. I know YouTube is in an uproar right now about Colleen Ballinger, aka Miranda Sings, one of the YouTube titans on this platform. I like to call them OG YouTubers, people that were doing it before you could even make a buck. She's in some controversy, and I heard she had a memoir, so I was like, let me go ahead and read it. But what I wasn't expecting was for the content to be like this. So we're gonna get into it. If you guys are not new here, you guys know I usually like to dress up to look like, you know, the memoir, you know, get in the spirit. I'm not in the spirit. This is some weird shit, bro. So you get in black tea with a little bit of toothpaste on it, okay? I did my edges. Golly, this is some weird shit. This is so freaking weird, bro. And before I even get into this, because I know there are going to be some fans that aren't even gonna watch this video and they're just gonna come in and comment. I don't care if this is a character played by somebody. This book was released in 2018 by a grown woman with children. I don't want to hear it's a character, because I feel like as Colleen matured and saw how the platform changed, even in this book, she admits she saw the change of the YouTuber to the influencer. You see how you have influence. She should have switched up her character. Okay, characters evolve with time, with the humor and all that stuff. So if you came here to say that, I really don't give a damn. Like, not really here for that. Let's get into it. Again, I don't really like to ramble. I do have a list because, again, it's just so appalling. The things in this book are so appalling. Well, first off, we are going to start off with her childhood and her teenage years. This is when I knew that this book was about to be weird. This girl has a photograph of human shit. Human shit. Like, I'm so pissed, bro. Like, this is so nasty, bro. Like, how is this funny? Like, if somebody I know would have sent me a picture like that, I don't even care if it was their baby, being like, oh my God, baby's first doo-doo. Don't, like, that's disgusting. That's like on the level of unsolicited nude. Like, nobody wants that. And yeah, she put a full 4K in color picture of her doo-doo, bro. Like, I'm not even about to play with y'all. I don't even think I could show it on YouTube. I really don't. And when I saw, yeah, like, this is disgusting. Are you freaking for real? Then another thing that I found disturbing, because since we're talking about the pictures, because this is technically a damn picture book, child. I literally bought this yesterday and I finished it in like an afternoon. It's a picture book. She really finessed New York Times, because wow. Since we're talking about the pictures, another thing in the childhood portion that was concerning to me was this picture right here, where she is pointing at her childhood self having a front wedgie. That's just what we're gonna call it, and just basically symbolizing the younger version of herself. Why she would point at that, like, I don't know. Just, even though it gives kitty vibes and stuff like that, it does tell a little bit of her story. She was homeschooled. She doesn't really talk about anybody in her family other than her mother and her uncle. Now, I am aware she has another book. I did not read that book because I mainly do like memoirs over here. But from my understanding, the uncle is supposed to be like a creepy uncle archetype type thing. And she doesn't really go into like super details about how creepy the uncle is in this book, but she does allude, i.e., oh, uncle wants to take pictures of me and make me famous. Like, and you know what those connotations can mean, right? So she does mention the uncle, but nothing too crazy. The mom, however, a complete emotional punching bag. Like, just horrible. This girl is just horrible. Again, even if it is a character, it's like, damn, like, was that funny at some points? It's giving like Junie B. Jones if Junie B. Jones had a trailer park mom and like she was smoking cigarettes. Like, I don't understand. It's so funny because when I was reading the childhood teen portion of when she's talking about her coming of age, it just reminds me so much of old school YouTube humor, like Fred. Fred was for kids, but he would have little moments where he would talk about his mom going to the bar, you know, and getting drunk and leaving him abandoned, right? Or, you know, you have Shane Dawson who would do little stuff with kids and have like these kid shows too. And he was BFF with Colleen. They did a lot of similar humor. Onision. Oh, like, I'm just saying people from this era of YouTube. Onision, who used to have kids send in pictures of themselves and used to freaking a kiki. Like, it's just giving that type of, okay, the kids like Junie B. Jones, so let's make a character like that, but we're going to add a little spice because this is YouTube and we can't be regulated and it's just whatever, right? So that's the vibe I get from her character. Just very snobby, wants to be famous, inappropriate relationship with the uncle, emotionally abusive relationship with the mom is what she wrote in the book. So another thing that was going on is this reference of like popsicles. She said that she met a little neighborhood boy that gave her a popsicle. Just lots of references to body parts being called other names, which I don't really think is good, especially if this is for any type of kid or if you expect any type of kid. I'm gonna just have to cut to that real quick. The age, like, who is this for? Like, who is this for? Like, who is this for? Yeah, it's just weird constantly referencing the popsicle, talking about eating on popsicles when it comes to these little boys and her uncle offering her popsicles. Like, it's just, the insinuation is weird. I don't like how it's like that's the joke. The joke is she's getting messed with and nobody knows. Like, I don't like that. And then she introduces herself as a teenager by being like, oh my God, I got my period and I hate life. Like, I don't know. It's just really weird, bro. It's just so weird. It's just so anatomically focused. I don't know. And then she like puts a fake age at the top. Hold on. I'm gonna show y'all. So yeah, she'll put like a fake age at the top. So she'll be like Miranda 13 years old, right? So that's the only reason I know that she is saying all this stuff as a kid, or she's like role playing that she is a kid or a teen and saying this stuff and saying that this is how teens talk and this is how kids talk, which is concerning. All of that aside, I'm gonna tell you my gist of her childhood after I read between the lines, looked at the pictures that she scribbled on and all that. It's giving sheltered homeschool kid that the only time they interacted with other children their age was to go to theater camp or go to the main high school, main middle school's theater program. It's giving generational wealth. Your people come from money. I saw that picture of you with that freaking machine gun in there. I saw that picture of you with that machine gun. Let me know in the comments. How many of y'all have met somebody like in college or something and you think they're one way and then you go home and then you see their childhood pics and they big ass damn house and they over here with a fat ass machine gun with the American flag in the back? Yeah. Okay, Colleen. That's the vibe I get from Colleen herself. Very sheltered. I could tell because of your race humor, just like Shane Dawson, I can tell that you were not exposed to a lot of people of color growing up. And all of your humor that's racy has to do with race or pedophilia. Like, and then the obsession, this is another millennial thing, like millennial humor thing I've noticed from these OG YouTubers. What is the obsession with bad hygiene? Like, I cannot tell you how many times throughout this book, because she talks about her whole life. I'm about to transition out to childhood. She talks about her whole life. This woman has had an ingrown toenail since conception. She be talking about how her toenails be ingrown, how she got all this stuff. Like, it's just gross. Like, and when I tell you that is the common theme of having cheesy cheese doodle fingers, ingrown toenail, like, what is relatable about that? I'm not gonna act like I never had an ingrown toenail before, but I've only had like one, and I didn't even have it until I was in my 20s because I have been working on my damn feet. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just really weird. It's just, this is just a weird chick. It's not the issue that she's like quirky or not like the other YouTubers. Weird does sell. I mean, look at Weird Al. But it's like, why do we have to add the edge You get what I'm saying? The edge. And then she's even said herself, these jokes fly over the kids' heads. So let's get into the next era. I like to call this the ageless and famous era, because this is when she stops labeling how old she is in the book, because now we're just ageless. But when I wanted to seem like a kid, and you know, and I wanted y'all to know that I was a child, I put the age at the top. But no, we're ageless now. We're ageless Miranda, okay? Colleen's some bitch that's trying to look like me. She does that a lot. Shane does that too. The whole disassociation of, that was a character I'm playing, that's not me. That's her, that's not me. I'm me, she's her. And it's just like, no, they're both you, okay? They're both you. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Like, let's cut it out. Anyway, so let's get into the ageless era. Again, she doesn't really talk about the real story in this book of how she got on. She still stands by this weird Fred-esque mixed with Onision Shane Dawson-esque story of how she got on. But I remember back in the day, she was not dressed as Miranda. She was dressed as her regular self. And she did a really bad cover on purpose on some theater major-ish. And the video went viral. And that is when she created the character. The character did not make her viral. So I don't want to hear anybody being like, oh, she did it once and then it got branded on her, so then she just had to do it forever. No, that is not what happened. She went viral first for looking like an attractive, in her words, skinny white woman. She did not go viral for Miranda. She was not introduced to the YouTube platform as Miranda. If anything, her humor was the fact that she sung bad. And when I was younger, I thought that was the joke. I thought the joke was, you can't sing and everyone on YouTube is trying to become Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, and get on from singing on YouTube. I thought that was the joke. Why did the joke evolve to pulling your pants up in a freaking front wedgie to where your imprint is showing? Can we just imagine if a man did this? If a man pulled his sweatpants or pajama pants up to the point where you see his bulge and that was his character. Could you? And it was a kid and they doing concerts at high schools with kids, guys. Guys, I don't see high schoolers as like older kids. I don't. They're like, you're still a kid, bro. Like, I am just so confused. And it concerns me when people my age try to be relatable to that age group. Like, if your content isn't changing with you and you're still trying to keep up with the fellow kids, I'm side-eyeing you, bro. Yeah, she was basically going on these world tours, but there was one tour in particular that made me very uncomfortable. That is the London tour. Hold on. Here we go. The London tour, child. We've got pictures of her with male strippers. And there's a code right here if y'all want to go and look at that, because I can't put it on the screen. She is here in gay clubs. All right. Now look, I am bi, okay? I have no problem with the lettuce, bacon, tomatoes, and the queer folk, all right? So please, pipe down. My problem is this. Who is your audience? Who is your audience, bro? Because if you're over here in gay clubs and shit and you taking pictures, I'm just imagining the 13-year-old with this book and scanning that code and seeing a bunch of male strippers gyrating around. That is not child-friendly content, bro. She also has some, she went to like a pride, there were some like drag queens there. And again, not saying that, you know, there aren't drag queens that read to children and stuff like that. It's just a drag queen, when they're doing their reading the children act, that performance is completely different than when they go and lip sync for their damn life in the club at freaking, you get what I'm saying? Who is your audience? Like, what the hell is going on, bro? It's almost like she's trying to vicariously live her EXO tour life, but you're on the Barney tour, girl. You're on the Barney tour. You can't do lines on the Barney tour. I'm sorry, like, The Weeknd, calm down. Like, I am just gagged. Oh, and this, I forgot about this part. She over here selling her merch and stuff, but, and I know this is probably a joke, But it's the descriptions for me that was just so gross. She was saying like now that she's famous, now she's selling like little trinkets and stuff to her fans. And y'all, this is so gross. This girl is nasty as hell. So she talking about how she's selling trinkets of sand that she pulled from her crotch at the beach, and she's bagging it, and she says, this one hurt my crevices, this one was soft on my skin, this one hurt in my bathing suit, and this is my favorite because it was in all of my places. Just very weird stuff. I don't see how that was funny. Like, I am just so confused right now, bro. Like, I'm confused. And I'm confused at the people who let their kids go to these events, but I'm going to give a virtual pat on the back to all the parents that actually read the book before they gave it to their kids, because it's not very blatant. It's not blatant. It's very slick little stuff. So now we are going to go into the Miranda co-signers, the famous co-signs who helped her leap from the YouTube sphere to the mainstream. I was very surprised to see Frankie Grande, Ariana Grande's gay brother, being so intertwined with Miranda. Ariana's a Nepo baby that got popping off of YouTube. And I think that because they have similar beginnings, it's similar sphere, because, you know, Frankie is in the Broadway theater space, just like Colleen. I think that's why the friendship kept going. But yeah, tons of pictures of him. Also explains the pride thing in the gay clubs and stuff. But again, I kind of just would have went as my grown ass self and not showed pictures of that. Like, it's just so weird. It's just so freaking weird. Tons of Frankie cosigns all throughout the years. Tons and tons of Frankie cosigns. Big one that really surprised me was Jerry Seinfeld, because he is a comedian. And I'm like, did you not see the lack of substance in Colleen's stuff? And then at first I was like, well, maybe is Colleen Jewish? Like, is maybe that why he tried to help her out? Because, you know, you gotta help each other out in the community. I really don't know. You know, they did the coffee with comedians thing. What else did they do? He got her on Jimmy Fallon. Like, and I'm pretty sure because of him, she got the Netflix deal, because Jerry also has his own Netflix show, like I said, with the coffee. Who would have thought? And, you know, now she has her Netflix special. She has 2 Netflix shows. One Netflix show, 2 seasons, and then she has a movie with Netflix. I have not watched them. I have seen people do reviews on them. It's giving the same vibe as this book. Just emotionally abusive to your mom, a creepy, perverted uncle, and red lipstick. There's really no plot or no end game. Girl, there's not even any, like, credits in the back of this book. Like, it's crazy. And she just, like, blasted Jerry Seinfeld's name on the back of this book. And you know what? It's low-key what he gets, because from what it's looking like, if it wasn't for Jerry, she wouldn't have got a lot of this Netflix stuff. Speaking of Netflix, so yes, Netflix did, I will consider that a cosign because now we're here. So Netflix did cosign Miranda. However, it is interesting because in the book, Colleen did say, and I'm using Miranda and Colleen interchangeably, that Netflix did censor her, and they did tell her, hey, this is not appropriate. Like, if you're trying to get this rating, this is not it. Like, because they could see after season 1 of the show, the analytics of who is watching and where the shows are being logged. Because, you know, there's Netflix Kids and then there's normal Netflix. She was over here bitching and moaning in the book, talking about they're censoring me and they took out this scene, they took out that scene. Yeah, girl, because they saw it freaking coming. They saw it coming. And it's, I don't know, maybe they're like inspired by American Pie or something. But even then, those were adults playing college kids. I don't know. And it's funny because she even talks about the Paul brothers in this book, about how, oh, you just got to be a rich white boy now to blah, blah, blah. No, Colleen, you were jealous because they were young and free and popping on the platform. And they make child content. The Paul brothers at that time in 2018, they were making content for kids, right? And they didn't have to pretend to infantilize themselves like you've had to for the past almost 10 years. Like, you were hating when you really could have just transformed Miranda herself instead of making her this caricature. Oh, and apparently, speaking of grooming, I seen a baby James Charles in this book. Yeah, there's a baby James Charles. So you had James, again, another theater kid. I'm just seeing the patterns. Let's just say that. I'm seeing the patterns here. I'm going to get into my overall thoughts about this book and Miranda Sings, the character, and Colleen as a whole. So first off, I want to just start off with the caricature of Miranda Sings. Obviously, I did not know about this when I was younger because I did not take American history until I was in the 11th grade in high school. And they do it like that on purpose here in the US. They try to keep you as distant from this type of stuff as possible. And Colleen being homeschooled, I could see how this went down. I highly advise going to watch D'Angelo's video on Shane Dawson to get a little bit more background about this. But minstrelsy on social media in this era of time was live, revived, and well. There's also another video on here that I seen a few years ago about King Bach and the minstrelsy on Vine. Colleen was also on Vine doing a lot of these type of skits and stuff as well. And I personally, with a new, more mature set of eyes, looking at the Miranda Sings character, I'm sorry, I have to admit, this is a minstrel, like it's a minstrel character. The character is portrayed to have mental delays, big red lips, and they make the same expression as the white people back in the day who did this type of entertainment did. She does a lot of the same hand movements. She pulls her pants up to look like a clown. A lot of I don't know if you guys realize this, but clowns were inspired by minstrel paint and then the afro, and like, it's just American history can get very dark, but this is what happens when you're not exposed to other ideas. And this is why everybody is like so up in arms about education right now, for their children, and why it's so important to keep CRTs in school, and why it's so important to teach white children, black children, Spanish children, anybody that wants to live in this country, the real history, so that we don't repeat this again and have these moments of like, now this woman is known as being literally a minstrel caricature throughout the whole world. And that's why I was so confused at Jerry Seinfeld, because it's like, Jerry has stood up for black people. I immediately think of when Chris Rock, old stupid ass, that's why he got slapped. His old stupid ass was on a couch with Jerry and other comedians saying the N-word, and Chris didn't care, and Jerry was like, no, I do mind. I don't think that's right. I respect black people, XYZ.
The things we think about black people, this fucker.
You're saying I'm an...
Yes, you are the niggerest fucking white man I have ever...
Oh, amazing. I don't think he could do that. I don't think he has those qualities.
Only two. I mean, no, you don't even understand.
Really?
You don't really know him. Like, I've worked with him.
No, like your bit about...
I wouldn't use it anywhere.
No, exactly. These two.
We say you're on stage.
On stage.
You guys don't. That's a...
Yeah.
There's interesting two teams
that's
here.
The difference between... Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We say you're on
in
stage, you
different
guys
ways,
don't.
but that's definitely a pairing. Who says nigger on stage? We don't.
Well, you just did.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
You and me say in private.
No.
These two guys don't. I don't believe he says it in private.
I've given it up just because it's played.
I don't believe it's. I don't think you've ever said it probably in your life.
No,
I don't think. No. Yeah, that's a huge difference between you and me, I think.
Well, you
said
found the humor of it.
Yeah.
I haven't found it.
Right.
Nor do I seek it.
I don't see how, with his expertise in comedy, being in comedy back when it actually was edgy, because people love acting like the 2010s was the edgiest era, and I'm a 90s baby, but I can admit, I wouldn't know what it's like to go to school in the 80s. I'd be seeing on the movies, they were getting fucking cut in the bathroom and shit. Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about, but it was so edgy back then. Like, girl, please. But yeah, Jerry surprised me, because I'm like, you really don't see the similarities here of a minstrel, like, at all. And then the whole kids is it was just weird. So then we're gonna get into that part. Who is this for? Who is this for? She says it's for 13 and up. I wouldn't let my 15-year-old mess with that. Like, I wouldn't even, like, it's just weird. Like, I didn't giggle not once in the whole book. If anything, I was just shocked at I was just looking at the pictures. It's more so like a picture book. So that's why I'm like, I couldn't see anybody over the age of 10 to 12 buying. Like, you get what I'm saying? And then it's so colorful. Where's the book at? It's so colorful compared to her other self-help book and stuff. Like, you would think this is for kids. It doesn't have an age on here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say for ages anything. It doesn't have a dedication, but a dedication page or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know, but I could tell you one thing. I know that this book would be put in the children's section in a bookstore just because of how it looks. You could not, like, if I were to make a book like this, because I'm not gonna lie, I'll give one compliment. I do love the composure of the book. It's giving zine. Like, I love it. I love the whole scrapbook vibe. Go look at my channel. I love the whole collage vibe. I always have. But if I were to make a book like this with the collage vibe, I would cut out a parental advisory sticker and like tape it on there so people know, like, it's a tongue-in-cheek, you know, it's not for kids. Because this one beyond tongue-in-cheek. And another reason that's confusing of how you don't know who the audience is for, she has fan art in the back. You've got people sending in fan art that are 2 years old, 6 years old, and then you flip the page and it's a 28-year-old sending you something. There is nothing in this world that a 2-year-old and a 28-year-old, there's no marketing product. Like, even a toothbrush, babies need different toothbrushes than an adult. Like, you get what there's no product that is that universal. And if you figured it out, baby, you're cracked. Because I don't, like, what? I'm sorry that I'm so animated. I'm just, like, so confused how this is a New York Times bestseller. Like, I have been working on my own book for years. I am doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. Her and B. Simone got it right. I'm doing it wrong, y'all. That is crazy to me. That book was crazy. My last overall criticism is, again, this Miranda Sings character being, I don't know if she's making fun and saying that the character is like mentally challenged or has a mental handicap. I'm not sure. But throughout the whole book, she uses the word but and coming and spells it B-U-T-T and C-U-M or C-U-M-M-I-N-G, and like, it doesn't stop. Like, it would be one thing, like, again, Junie B. Jones, you're trying to do a little play on words or whatever, but no, you kept it going until your ageless era, until the end of the book. Every time you say but, it has 2 T's, coming, spelt like that. And then she's always talking about a Tukey. A Tukey is woman specific, right? So now you over here, and I seen you do it on stage, explaining to little boys what a Tukey is. Like, see, that's why we need to be being anatomically correct with our kids, because when you got Miranda over here talking about touch my Tukey, and your kid walking around talking about touch their Tukey, and you don't know what a fucking Tukey, no, you need to be saying vagina and penis, because you got shit like this. Y'all already know what I'm about to do. Y'all already know.
Return confirmed.
That is all that I got to say about this book. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Well, I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 0.5 out of 10. The 0.5 is for the actual composition of the book, because I do like that whole, like, you know, zine, Harlem look of scrapbooking look of books. So, hey, and I do like Junie B. Jones, so I'll give her that. And I do like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So that's where you get your 0.5. But yeah, do not recommend. 0 out of 10. And and I guess I'm officially a hater now. I am a Miranda hater. It is what it is. Hey, it is what it is, girl. And all y'all that are mad about it, I hope you didn't pull your pants up too tight in the front to the point where you need some extra assistance. Because don't come up over here getting your panties in a bunch about Miranda on my page, okay? Because I know when you turn a certain age and you look back, you would not give this to your child. So I don't want to hear it. There is a picture of a literal chunk of doo-doo. I don't want to hear it. I don't. Please give this video a thumbs up, because I literally paid money and did all that. Like, please give this video a thumbs up. Please give this video a thumbs up so it's not in vain. Please, I had to look at doo-doo. And let me know, would you let your niece, your nephew, your kid, your little brother, your little sister, would you let them read this book? Do you think this book needs to be pulled from the shelves? I do. Look at a few of these reviews that I've been seeing. Shout out to all these parents, older siblings, uncles, aunts, all of y'all that are like monitoring what your kids are like. Even before this scandal happened, there were like active adults in these fans' lives like, hey, this ain't it. And I also want to, you know, send out condolences to all of Miranda's fans that were groomed. I did see that. I talk about it on my pop culture rants if you guys want to go and look at that. And I also talk about it on my podcast if you guys want to look at that. I go more in depth on my podcast though, talking about like Trisha and all of that stuff. That's pretty much it. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting me in this very awkward endeavor. Let me suggest some more memoirs in the comments below. Somebody suggested Robin's memoir, Whitney Houston's Lover. Someone else suggested Nas's First Baby Mom. So yeah, keep the suggestions coming. I appreciate them. And I will see you guys next time. Please be safe out there and spend your money wisely because